Friends, brothers, Space Marines, that is right. Update 12 is now upon us for Space Marine 2, and it is so much fun. From the new Techmarine Class all the way to the newest level, which is Disruption, and, even new cosmetics and voice lines. Overall, this update is pretty damn awesome, so we have to dive in. So kicking things off first, we have to talk about the Techmarine. Now, is this guy all that it's cracked up to be? Is he worth the wait? I'd say yes. There are some people out there that are saying, hey, he's a little bit more mid and whatnot, but overall, I'm having a great time with this guy because obviously he's going to play differently based on how you build out the character. Now, for your axe, you can have two different types of trees, and you can either go for more of that crowd control with sweeping attacks, faster combos, locking down the men, or you could be a bit more slower, more methodical with your top tree and focus more on those elites. But overall, regardless of how you build out the axe, this thing is going to perform pretty well. It has awesome charge-up attacks. You can even ram at enemies. I love holding down R1. Yes, I'm playing on PS5. I'll hold down R1 and I just charge the guy, I stab him in the gut, and then I do a follow-up smash combo. Or what we do is we hit the axe down in the ground, and then you could charge it, hold it down until it explodes, emitting this radial effect of electricity that definitely slaps. So this thing is very powerful. But then when it comes to your normal combos, overall, this thing is great, and I love seeing the executions go in tandem between your axe and also your servo-assisted arm because it's pretty cool that they're actually being used, so that's great. So what about our other abilities and our other guns? Well, when it comes down to the primary weapons, you get a whole lot of them. So like your normal primaries that you get across the board from like your tactical and whatnot, they're pretty much the same on your Techmarine. I've been using either the heavy bolter or the regular bolter with the grenade launcher attachment to it because, that's just kind of my playstyle, but you guys do you. But friends, also you're going to be getting a very nice special with this. That is going to be your triangle attack. Now, this is going to be your autocannon on top of your guy's arm over there on your shoulder. This thing is autonomous, so it will go in and attack enemies for you. All you got to do is you hit triangle, you get near some men, you'll see this yellow reticle go around them, and you start popping heads. Or you could focus fire on the big guys like those hell brutes and whatnot. This thing is going to do a ton of damage, especially when you start to work up your character a little bit more. But then something also that is new to the game and quite cool is the ability to use the Techmarine to activate tarantula gun turrets that are now going to be across the map. And I love that because it's going into what actually Techmarines do is we go in and we mess with technology, we use it to our benefit, and this thing is pretty good. So it's going to help you lock down waves of enemies, going to be saving your teammates and yourself quite a lot. It runs out of ammo, so you need to go back over to it and refill it, but hey, it definitely does a good job, so that's not too much of a hassle. But keep in mind, friends, you do not have any iframes when you are going and putting ammo and reactivating this gun turret, so be careful when you're doing it, because it could be a little bit of a high-risk moment. But overall, that's some really cool capabilities to it. And for our perks, there's some interesting ones that are out there where you're going to be more of hey, helping out yourself or more helping out the team. And they're pretty good. I'll have to go play with the perk system a little bit more to make the build that I want. And I know the prestige system has some interesting choices as well, but we're not going to touch on those now. But I'll have to play more and max out the character to fully understand it. But friends, there's definitely some more to this character. So the other big change that this patch introduces, and for the Techmarine specifically, is going to be these revitalizing stim packs. Now, this works different from your medical stims, where you don't get a block of health off the bat. What happens is that you're going to get your health working up to a certain level, and then the rest of it's going to be contested health, where then you can go up and kill a guy with an execution or just keep fighting and work all your health up. And it's quite nice because let's say if you are stimming yourself and then take direct damage right away from a normal stim, you'd lose that block of health. But with the revitalizing stim, you could keep working up your health even through damage. So that's an interesting change. You can only hold one or the other, so you could still have the other medical stim still, but you're not going to be able to have the revitalizing stim on top of it. So, go and make sure that you're choosing the one that you want. I've been testing out the revitalizing stim. It's a lot of fun. Go give it some work. But I don't want to spoil things too much for the Techmarines, so definitely get out there, try them for yourself. Let me know what builds that you're coming up with, and let's go on and talk about the new level, which is Disruption. So Disruption, I have nothing but praise for this level, because goddamn is it cinematic. This captures and distills the exact same feel of the last level in the main campaign when you're going with all the Space Marines and you're attacking the goddamn Thousand Suns for an epic last stand. You have so many cool moments in this operation, and it just made me feel hey, this is so peak. We're back at these epic operations, And we've been seeing a really good trend of like all the recent operations have been pretty damn dope. But what's really special about this one is that it's multi-faction, so you're going to be fighting the Tyranids as well as the Thousand Sons on this battlefield. But then you're also helping out your Cadian brothers. That's right, you're going to be encountering a lot of the, bogged down Cadian forces that it's up to you to save. And if you're anything like me, you're going to want to do your hardest to keep these guys alive because they are very brave and valiant, and I like helping out our little brothers in arms. But the game has two really good standout moments that are like, oh my god, this is so peak, this is so hype. And the first one is going to be, you get down to this area where all the Cadians are amassing their forces, right? And there's these gigantic double doors in front of you, and through it are just hordes after hordes of Tyranids coming through trying to kill everyone. And you're not fighting alone, it's not just you, it's you with the Cadians that are making the last stand, and they have tanks. That is right, the Leman Russ tanks that you always get to see that you're like, hey, I saw these fight in the main campaign, I would love to have them on the battlefield with us. Well, friends, they've answered that for us, and they give us 3 to help us defend, as well as a whole slew of Cadians. Now, their cannons are going to be firing from the tanks at all of the, hordes of men coming through, but anyone that pops up, it's up to you and your Cadian battle brothers to take them out and keep them alive. And the whole thing is very interesting because it's kind of a last stand in a way, because you're holding the line, you cannot retreat, and you have to defend these generators from being destroyed by gargoyles, by ground forces. It is so amazing. I loved every second of this one. And of course, if you're playing as a Techmarine, as I was, you were going to be getting those tarantula gun turrets that are going to be around to go activate and help you out on your defense. So definitely an awesome moment. The second awesome moment for me was that we are getting to go up and help out good old Valdis again, the Dreadnought Redemptor. And it's so cool, man. So you see him fighting off in the distance, and you're going to get to fight, in parallel to him. So keeping the men off of him, going through your thing while you're listening to him kind of trudge along, killing out everyone that's in his path. And then you're going to get to this one section where you are going to have to protect him as he's literally punching through a chaos energy field, trying to get to the other side, and you're killing off all of the chaos, guys on him. So that's great. And then finally, when you break through that, there is another epic moment, just like how we saw in the main campaign with Valdis going and taking on a Helldrake. He does it again, and it is so cool. It's just as cool as the first time around, and he does it a little bit differently this time, but you always gotta love him. He's just so much fun to be around. But friends, aside from that too, you're going to have to, sit back and watch all the Tyranids fight the Thousand Sons because it's great. I'm watching Chaos Spawn versus Tyranid Warriors. It's a great time. So overall, this is just such an epic moment. And there's another last stand epic moment charge that you're going to have to do towards the end of the campaign. I'm not going to kind of spoil that for you, so discover it on your own. I loved every moment of this, like I said. So, hey, job well done to Saber Interactive and Focus Entertainment for really giving us and delivering something that's just such a strong package. It's such a well-made experience. And again, wonderful. I love it. So what about PvP for the new class? Well, we obviously have our Chaos counterpart for our Techmarine, which is going to be our Warpsmith, Forgesmith. I always forget the term. I think it's Warpsmith. And it's great. He has got a very sick design to him. So many more of those servo-assisted arms. It's very, very cool. But how does this class play? Well, it's a bit different in PvP than it is in the main game because they had to make it a little bit more balanced. So what happens for your triangle, your special ability, is that you're able to make a bubble zone, and any enemies that walk into it will get targeted by your servo-assisted gun. So you're not just able to constantly hit triangle and just plug away at everyone that's around you. They have to find a balance. Now, I'm trying to find, hey, what is, the right playstyle to do for the Techmarine in PvP. I was first using the plasma autocannon, and then, the plasma cannon. And then I switched over to the marksman rifle for more precise hits. I wasn't really sure what was really working for me, but all I know is that axe is pretty good for PvP. It works kind of well. You do seem a little bit squishy, though, I'd have to say, so you're not some heavily armored badass. You're going down pretty quickly, so again, it's going to take me more time to get my hands on PvP with this character to really understand him a bit more, but hey, what are you experiencing? Let me know. Alright friends, that's all I wanted to cover from this. Get out there, play the new patch, tell me how you're liking it. If you're using the Techmarine, I would love to hear what are your playstyles, and what do you think of Disruption? I think it's a wonderful operation, as I said, a lot. But, well, I'll see you in the next one, and take care.